Hey, I want to thank y'all for joining us tonight for our podcast. And the reason why I'm saying our podcast is because we ain't came up with a title yet for the podcast, right? So you know we raw with it when we ain't even decided what the name gonna be yet. But we do know what the topic is. And I got these two kings with me tonight. They're gonna introduce themselves. But we just want to have a real conversation, man. Like, it ain't a lot of places where men can go and really talk and really be able to have a 100 conversation with each other, especially not men who done lived life and men who done did things in their life. Like, all three of us done served time, all three of us done came out the streets, and all three of us own businesses, and we doing well for ourselves. So what we want to talk about tonight was just things that, like, black men want to drop on other black men and black women and just all kind of folks to be able to help you make it wherever you going quicker and to get there, you know what I'm saying, just happier. You know, just be able to be you, live the life that you meant to live, and just be able to be your whole self. And I feel like that's really as much as I'm going to do when it comes to this intro and trying to act and do all of that. So I'm going to let y'all introduce yourself. You can start off with you, Ron.
Well, this is Ron, you know what I'm saying, double R, real is rare. We're going to talk about some good focal points and give some real good tea. That's it.
Big B, Mr. Pure Party Boss, and I'm just here to, you know, I'm here to drop some knowledge and exchange some real game with two of my brothers here tonight.
Hey, y'all, I'm laughing, man, because B is the most solid person. Me and B are talking on the phone till 2 in the morning, just working through thoughts and just talking about whatever we done seen, whatever we done lived through, whatever. But when you put a camera in front of this man, he is so funny, man. But once he get to talking, y'all gonna see. So what we did tonight was we all picked a topic, right? Each one of us thought about something that we feel like was worth talking about and something that was real and something that somebody could take something away from. So I'm gonna start off with me first. My first topic was.
Good. I wanted to say something, but I want to say something piggyback off what you was about to say.
No, go ahead.
Because it's genuine. So I want everybody to know also, when he just said something about B, this is my first night meeting my bro, and it's about networking. A lot of times people don't get strength in networking. You never know who's who in your circle. A lot of times we get caught up in I want to do this, or I need to do this. But when you have a real team, you have real good brothers on the same level with the same mindset, powerful things happen. So I wanted to plug in to let everybody know what the real is. Like I met Keith, me and Keith, this is my bro, and he brought another brother to me tonight. So this has really been a blessing on top of a blessing. So he's saying something, just saying, okay, this is how he is, but I'm telling you, this is my first time meeting bro. When I call him bro, it's my bro. And it's a networking thing, it's been nothing but positivity. So if anybody's looking at this, you're gonna say, okay, well, you know what? This is a real thing for you to sit and get collectively with some people and say, you know what? We can really be about business and come out productive.
So you know what? I think with what you just said, I want to switch up our first topic.
Okay,
and I'm gonna throw this one over to you because you brought it up. I don't believe in networking. I believe in building relationships.
Okay.
Did I not say that earlier today? So B owns a company that redoes party buses, redoes really some of everything from party buses to boats to, if you got something that got upholstery in it and that's supposed to be dope, bro can put you in the game, right? So me and B come from way back together. Both of us come out the streets together. Both of us been hustling for years, and we've been rocking with each other ever since back then, right? But B like my brother. When I say my brother, when you come out the mud with somebody and y'all don't risk y'all life with each other, and y'all both transition from coming out the streets, going into business, teaching yourself business by yourself, making a lot of mistakes, learning as you go, you teach each other, you grow together, you learn together, right or wrong?
That's right.
Now, another one of my brothers went into business with Ron. And when he went into business with Ron, he hit me and pulled me in to introduce me to Ron. But the point of what I'm trying to say is none of us met to do an exact business thing with each other. Mm-hmm. We met to build relationships with each other. And as we got to know each other and we built with each other, the relationships turned into things that make money, right? Like I brought B to meet Ron because Ron bought some party buses. but
Yeah.
they probably spent a tenth of their time in their conversation on the party buses.
Yeah.
And 90% of the rest of the time, y'all been talking about other stuff, right or wrong.
All right.
Because once you build a relationship with somebody, you can see, oh, this is what type time you on, this is what you got going on. Oh, I was thinking about this, I got an investment in this. They was having a conversation about something they doing here in Atlanta. I called one of my cousins out in Houston, and now they'll go another plug, another gear in the car.
Yeah.
So the point that I'm trying to make is black men, is black women, is whoever you are, we got to start actually getting to know people. We got to start building relationships with people, even if you can't see the value in that relationship today. If somebody's solid and they move like a real person, that mean they doing something real. So that mean if you rock with them, y'all can find stuff to do together. You ain't got to know what it is in the beginning. Right or wrong, B?
All right.
That was me trying to plug B to. Like I said, we gonna get B to talking. Watch. It might be another drink. It might take a second, but we gonna get B to talking.
Yeah.
But what you? This is your topic. So what you think about it?
Yeah, all right. So I'm a real big believer in energy, and I feel like, you know what I mean, good or bad, everything has a season, right? One of the things I always say, everybody can elevate and go where you're going. So life is like a booster, like a rocket, right? When the rocket reaches a certain altitude, the boosters fall off. So everybody's not scheduled to go where you're going. So in that season, you're supposed to maximize whatever potential or whatever you see in that situation, whether it be good or bad. And I think that people should plug in and really genuinely see who this person is, or who this man and female is. And I feel like if you plug in and you really say, you know what I mean, and everybody's transparent, because everybody knows when you be transparent, transparency brings vulnerability, correct?
Yeah.
If you're really being transparent, you know what I mean, you're not flexing, you're not being fake, you being the real true you. It makes you vulnerable.
And that
in
let
a
other
sense.
people see where you weak at, and let somebody see where
Right.
they can help you at. Is that where you going?
Right, yeah.
Already.
So that means that you have to be able to trust and have the security to be able to say, you know what, I will be weak in this moment. This is enough for you to see who I am. And that's real. That's a real thing. And a lot of people are not willing to do that because they're scared of what the outcome may possibly be. But if you're real and you're standing on your two, and you know what I mean, you're standing on business, I feel like that's not a gamble. And that's what people, I feel like they do. I feel like they feel like that's a gamble. I don't want to be my true self.
But you know what though? I hear what you're saying, right? But I think the bigger part of that is people see themselves through their accomplishments and what they have and how other people judge them. They don't see themselves for them. If
Right.
you see yourself for you, right?
Right.
Then you ain't worried about showing up as nothing other than yourself, because I already feel good about myself. I don't need nobody else to tell me who I am. Like, as for me, I know who I am. I know what I am. I know why I am. I know what I'm trying to accomplish. I know what I've been through. I know where I'm at. That ain't nothing that I need nobody else to co-sign on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
bro, I don't talk about 90% of the things I got going on to people unless I'm either trying to help you or I'm asking you to help me.
Right.
Because I don't have to tell you what I got going on to feel good about myself. I felt good about myself before I met you.
Mm-hmm.
So you just an extension. You coming into the energy I already got for myself. Does that make sense?
It make the whole sense.
Like, I look at B, and I'm gonna throw a plug. B got a yacht and a Benz, right? Yeah, we won't even hear him talk about it. And if he drives something and he don't know you, ain't even finna pull up in the Benz. You gonna pull up in one of your cars with the drive-on test. You don't even care because you trying to downplay yourself before you see who
Feeling
somebody
sad.
else is.
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do a lot of downplaying.
Why though?
Cause I really don't need people to see who I am for real.
Explain. So that's the opposite of what Ron was just saying. But what's your perspective on that? Why is it that you don't want people to see who you are?
Expectations.
But you know, I can get that though. I'm gonna tell you why. Because this is the real truth, right? So I had somebody come out to my house, right, to do some work, right? And I did this as a project. Now, y'all tell me if this makes sense. He comes out to my house. To the one property is a rental property, and the one property is my actual property that I live in. The one property is rental property, it's just a rental property, right? He comes out, give a quote. Same exact job. Comes out to my house, not knowing that it's my house. He
Yeah.
sees the X6 or he sees exotic car, whatever he sees, right, that's appealing to him.
You see the money.
Oh, now
Oh, but it's another.
you got, I gotta charge you up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I see what you're saying as far as when you say, I'm not even trying to let nobody see what's going on.
That's why I play the backfield.
Yo, I get that.
But as for me though, bro, I feel like once a person spends time around you, you could tell what a person's life is like by the way they move. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't think that's something you can hide. That's something like for me, I don't even try to do that no more.
Yeah.
Like I ain't worked for nobody else since 2007. I ain't had nobody cut me a check. I ain't dependent on nobody else to make my money. I don't even know what it's like to live that kind of lifestyle. I don't know what it's like to clock in with somebody. I don't know what it's like to feel like if I do this many hours, you guaranteed to give me this much money. And I know both of y'all know what I mean, because you can put in hella hours for yourself and lose money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
All I know is that if I go with a plan and see it through, it's gonna yield what I want. And if I don't see it through, that's on me. So I look at it like this. If I gotta downplay myself for somebody else to feel comfortable with me, I'd rather see you for who you are as quick as possible so I can move you out the way. Now that don't mean that I'm gonna intentionally shine, that don't mean I'm gonna brag, but I'm gonna show up as me.
But that's the same concept I was saying in the beginning when I said everybody can elevate and go where you're going. But guess what? Let me say this. Everybody can afford you. And what I mean by that is your time. Time is, you know what I mean? Like, people put a dollar sign on money, right? But that's not, to me, that's not wealth. You know what I'm saying? Like my time, like everybody can't be around me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't have access to me. You know, everybody can't afford me. I was just talking to B, and I told him, I said, listen, I was talking to a brother, and I was trying to tell him, give him some games, dropping some jewels on him. And I said, listen, how can I speak prosperity into your life if you have a Section 8 mentality? How can I do that?
You want to jump on this one? You got a thought you want to share before I jump in?
No, go ahead.
I thought about something today. This last week or two, my energy been up and down, up and down, up and down.
Okay.
My energy don't go up and down until I include other people in my life. Like I built my life the way I wanted to look, feel. I own everything about my life. I own my business. I own my world. And I hand built it. So if it don't make me happy, I would be an idiot, because why would I build something that don't make me happy? Now when I add other people into my life, they be inconsistent. They don't be transparent about what their intentions are and this and that. They come with entitlement. They come with all these different attitudes. And a lot of times they come with that because they are in turbulence in their own life. So they can't help but to bring turbulence into your life because that's where they're at, right? What I really look at isn't so much of a prosperity versus poverty mindset type of thing, because some people live in poverty their whole life and be richer than people who were born into wealth. What I look at is your energy. What I look at is do you have inner peace? Do you feel confident about who you are? Because think of how many grandmothers never had as much money as their grandchild, right? But they was an amazing person with a beautiful life because they had happiness because they raised a beautiful family. To me, that's one of the wealthiest people in the world. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not so big on money anymore. I'm big on, like, if you die today, can you die with a smile because you really, really lived a life that you felt like it was worth your lifetime?
Right, I get that.
Can you say that something in this world is better because you was alive? And if you can't say that, I don't want you around me. Because if you ain't trying to move that way, then that means that something about your energy gonna throw mine off. Does that make sense?
I can feel it.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is I get your point that people can't afford your time and your energy and your space because they're gonna pull back what you're trying to accomplish.
No, I think I'm saying the same thing you're saying, but I say it differently. What I mean by that is that, you know what I'm saying, when we're talking about energy, that have you ever met somebody and all they ever talk about something negative and it brings you down? Like, oh my God, I went through this today. My girlfriend, she about to get evicted, but I can't pay, I can't help her. And it's always something negative. And then what that does is that puts something on your spirit, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. When I'm talking about a person that I'm speaking prosperity in, and I'm giving you game, I'm telling you, okay, listen, brother, I did 5 years, and I know what it's like to come out as a felon. You can't even get housing. You can't get the job you want. because they're doing criminal background checks. I'm telling you, okay, let's take that same negative energy and say, you know what reentry programs that's gonna give a black brother a grant, or minority a grant, or ex-felon a grant. The same negatives, there's always two positives, and people don't look into that. They don't see that, but it's only because their mindset is already with a Section 8 mentality, which is built. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about there's all types of avenues that you can go in to be able to successfully succeed, to not go back into the old life that you're in, which I think you was going to talk about that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right, we can get to that point, but I know B was thinking something. I want to let you clear your mind on this before I jump to the next section.
No. I was agreeing with really both of y'all saying, but y'all talking about two different things.
Right.
He's talking about, you're talking about like some spiritual realm shit.
Yeah, exactly.
He was talking about physical here financially, like as far as when you say somebody can't afford your time, because I understand where he's coming from from that aspect or whatever. It's just like shit. You can't come around me talking about hoes all day.
Be this for kids.
There it is.
But this is the raw uncut
I got you,
version. But this is, I mean, you want me to talk?
Yeah, listen.
I got you. But if
You don't get in front of, cause I'm gonna say
if we gonna play, I got you. But if it's gonna be in a school, you got to.
You can't get in front of me talking about, oh, I smashed it. This is your main topic of conversation with me. Cannot be, okay, I smashed them many girls all the time, or boy, I got the X6 outside, or I got the Benz truck outside. Woo, woo, woo. Care nothing about none of that.
Right.
But how we gonna get paid?
Yo.
Or but how we gonna step our energy to the next level? Like as far as bring these chakras up, you know what I'm saying? Make my light shine.
Or B, listen to this right here. You got kids, right?
Yeah, of course.
What's your legacy?
You
know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
what I like right now. He would tell you, I go hard in the paint. I have two girls.
Me too.
One of them is my biological. Another one is from a relationship that I was in. It's not biological. Nobody ever would know that's not my biological daughter.
All right.
But you know what I'm saying? Because I rocked with her, I still kept that relationship going. You know, just like as she's my own.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is that my thing is that nobody taught me about credit when I was a kid.
Right.
Nobody said, you know what? I'm gonna give you a position where, so guess what? You have the opportunity, the freedom to walk into ownership. You know what I'm saying? What type of legacy are we leaving for our kids? That's the thing that I be wondering. You know, like where your mindset at?
So this is what I'm saying. I agree with both of y'all. Like everything you saying. But for me, it's like, what is the legacy that your kids born into? How is it serving God, representing God? How is it giving God glory?
Right.
Now, that doesn't have to be any different than what y'all are saying.
Right,
but
right.
a person can be focused on those things without the God part. And I'm saying God because that's my faith. But that could be whatever a person's faith is.
Right.
I'm at a point in my life where if a person talk to me about business and they not telling me how we gonna lift up somebody else. I done made so much money over the course of my life, and I ain't saying that I'm the richest person and this, and this.
Right.
I'm saying that I made so much money and went through so much money over my lifetime to where new money does not excite me. Like if all I'm making is money, I feel like I wasted my time. Cause you can make money and do so many good things at the same time.
Right.
So like the way that I set up my business structure right now is I don't make $1 unless a child gets a resource. Like unless a child gets a resource, I don't make $1.
Right.
So I won't do anything in business that does not give a child a better opportunity to have a life independently. And what I mean by that is if your parents ain't on the same type time you on, if your community ain't supporting you, how can you take control of your own life as a child?
Right, right.
If somebody comes talking to me, I put y'all together for a play.
Right.
That is gonna make y'all millions of dollars.
Right.
I walked off when y'all started talking.
Right.
I have no interest in it.
Right.
I want to see it for y'all. I called my cousin to plug them and walked off.
Right.
Because unless it goes back to $1 and a child,
Right.
I don't have no interest in it. I will not do business
So I'm
unless
curious.
a child will be benefited.
So I'm curious. I gotta ask this question respectfully.
Yeah.
What changed your mindset? Because you didn't always think like that. So what really changed your mindset? Why are you thinking like that? Because that's what I really want to get at. Because it's really about changing your mindset. That's how we grow.
So
So
funny,
go ahead.
I'm being told to sit up higher. I can't sit up no higher. This is tall as I am. I told y'all.
I
Hey,
slow down.
look.
I slow
Just
down.
to make this real,
Right.
we practicing with this podcast. We learning the
Yeah.
ins and outs. Because like everything else that we've accomplished in our life, we teach ourselves. We don't know everything
That
when
part.
we start. We
That
do
part.
what we can and we grow. But one thing about each one of us is we do. We don't talk. We don't try. We don't wait. We don't want. We do. So next time, what do we know? I need to sit in this chair so I can be a little taller. I told y'all that, right? And now that we getting into it, and I'm
Yeah.
sinking down because I'm in this.
Yeah.
Now, both of them 6 foot plus. I'm 5'9".
Right.
It just is what it is. So I cannot get no taller for y'all. If I can hit another growth spurt, believe me, I would have did it for me already. This is what we got. It is what it is. But you asked me a real question. You asked me what changed my mind.
Yo.
One of my homeboys got killed. He got shot. The years before he died, he got shot. Before that, I rushed to the hospital. I get on my knees. I hold his hand. I pray, and I was like, God, this is like my brother. This, you know what I'm saying? Me and him came
Yo.
up. I remember the first time I got 28 grams. I lost money on my first 28 grams. The J's taught me out of my work. Same thing I said about we try. I tried in the streets. You got to learn how to sack it up, right? You got to learn all this, right? He sat down with me, took me to his plug because I needed better work.
Okay.
Then he showed me how to sack it. He showed me how to move. He let me eat off his plate till I was good enough to go get my own plate.
Okay.
So he
That was
helped
real.
me become me.
Right. Okay.
So I'm praying over him while we're in the hospital. He ended up opening his eyes. I'm talking about we both cried together right in the hospital. He got shot again years later. What y'all don't know right now is these cameras are sitting on a pool table. We were shooting pool with each other. Somebody had got me set up and I get locked up and I had a bad case. And this case was supposed to be life for me. So I told myself, I'm cool with serving time. I'm cool with if I don't ever come back, I'm a man. I know what I did this, I know what it is.
Right.
But you're not finna be out here celebrating your life with your family and your kids and your people, and I'm in here. So the one thing I was gonna do before I left is kill bro. Cause
Right.
you set me up. I didn't get caught slipping. You
Right.
put this play in motion.
Right.
You can't live good while I'm out. You know what I'm saying? My
Right.
partner, he asked me to come shoot pool with him.
Right.
We shot pool for hours, and he said to me, we ain't even had no deep conversation about that. He said to me, he was like, if you take it upon yourself to handle his situation, then God gonna put his weight on your back. But if you live with your own situation, God will bless you.
Okay.
Now mind you, we heavy in the streets at the time. I don't really know God like that, but I get what he's saying. So I was like, you know what? I let God deal with the snake, cause God
Yo.
God gonna see what you did too.
Yo.
I get a call, and I had to leave out the pool hall. Pool hall closing. We shooting and talking for so long, cause everybody in the hood know I got this case. Everybody know what it is.
Yo.
The folks that own the pool hall let us stay in the pool hall after it closed, so that we can keep talking.
Right.
So I had to leave out. He go to pay the tab on the table. I leave right before him. Jump in my car. I bust the block. I get a call, turn around, and I come back, and somebody shot him up with a K. One bullet knocked off the top of his head. I'm holding him. We get to the hospital. The doctor's telling me the same thing. Oh, he not gonna make it. Blah blah blah. That same thing they told me the other time. I got on my knees. I'm praying. I'm holding his hand, and I could feel no soul in his hand. And I told God, I said, man, go ahead and take him. Because I'm looking at him. They knocked the top of his head off. How you going to live without the top of your head, bro?
Right.
Like, what kind of life would that be? That's a
Yeah.
life for me. That ain't a life for you.
Right.
So when he died, I got to the funeral hall early. I sat with him, prayed with him, talked to him. Just before the funeral, before all the services.
Yeah.
And I thought about it. I was like, bro, we got all this money. We did all this stuff over the course of our life. What did we do? You know what I'm saying? We came from nothing.
Right.
And like when he died, we were both worth over $1 million at the time.
Right.
And I'm looking at it like, bro, all we ever did with our life was made money. That's it.
Yo.
Like we ain't 5 years from now, your name ain't gonna be remembered like that.
Ain't no legacy.
None.
Yo.
And from that day, I told myself, man, I was like, I gotta live for more than just this money. Now understand, I didn't get the full transition at the time.
Right.
But that made me start looking at life different.
Differently.
Because this was my big homie. Like I said, I wouldn't be who I am now if it wasn't for bro being who he was.
I think everybody had that moment, right? I feel like my moment was me sitting in my jail cell, and they you know what I'm saying? If anybody been locked up, right? When you go through processing, you get to your joint. First thing you like, okay, we'll see if it's gonna be drama on this joint. I don't know what type of time these niggas is on. And I'm gonna say niggas. I mean that. I'm just not. That's not. I don't. You know.
No, I get it. So
But-
this is
but-
real talk. It is some niggas out here.
Yeah,
you got
it's
black
niggas.
men, you got
Yeah,
black
yeah.
kings, and you got black niggas.
Right.
That's
So you
different
don't-
categories.
You don't know what type of situation it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm sitting in my cell, when I'm in my hut, first of all, you know what I mean, the way they do it in Philly, they you know what I'm saying, they put you in the hut with somebody. You can't pick who you go in the hut with. In some places you can pick who you go in the hut with, but
I ain't never been in one of them.
this is a joint you can't pick who you go in the hut with. So I don't know what type of time his energy is or whatever, but I'm sitting there and I'm like,
You
yo,
gotta pick yourself up.
my daughter,
One point I did.
her life went from living in a $500,000 house to sleeping on the floor somewhere. So I'm thinking to myself, all these things is going through my head, and all I could think about is to say, you know what, dang God, I'm big on loyalty, but I'm in here. So who am I loyal to? Am I loyal to you, or am I loyal to the other counterpart? You know what I'm saying? And that's when my mind shifted, and that's when I said, you know, I gotta get out. When I do get out, I gotta maximize everything that going on. Like my peace and my time is everything. So when I was saying everybody can afford your time, my time is everything. I hold that disrespectful. If I make an appointment with you, B, and we got an appointment, bro, or Key, right? We got an appointment, bro, and if you don't call me and say, yo, Ron, and they're not, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm busy just as much as you're busy. You know what I'm saying? I hold that disrespectful. You know what I'm
Do you
saying?
want to get into this conversation? Do we want to have it?
We want to have it.
Do we want to talk about
No, we
what
wanna
just
have
happened?
it.
Do we want?
We gonna have it.
Real quick, B. Do you want to tell your story on when your change came? Cause we ain't gonna forget with that. Like that, you already know where I'm finna go.
All right.
B. Do you want to have your? When did you have your change moment?
That's my
Cause
change
you was out
moment.
here on the block too, and it had to go from a block moment to in the building moment. B might still be having his moment because they look.
I'm having a drink.
Yeah, mine ain't gonna work. Mine came late, so
Nah, I
I'm
want
saying
to
mine came in
hear it
stages
though.
too though. So like that's what I was saying.
Yeah, I
You
want to
can't move
know.
it so much. I don't know what
I'm
the
telling you
frame
when
is.
mine came in at. Mine came when I was locked up. I'm sitting in that cell, and I'm like, okay, I gotta make it do what it do. Like you know what I'm saying? It goes from. I've been on my own since I was 14, so I've always had it to fend for myself. Always like you know how they say, yo, who got your back? If something goes on, I ain't got nobody I can call. I ain't got nobody can say, yo, if it's a fight, who I'm going to go get? Me?
Yeah.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? If it's some gunplay, who I'm going to go get? Me?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had nobody, bro. I had nobody. So I'm in this cell on some real shit with killers around me, and I know what's going on. So who do I have? Why am I in here? You know what I'm saying? Like I tell young brothers all the time, right? They say, yo, I'm gonna go hit a lick, right? I hit a lick for 100,000. What does that 100,000 mean if you get 20 years behind that? That's pennies. That's modern day slavery. We gotta change our mindset.
So let me
bro.
okay. So real quick,
Go ahead.
I really want to hear B's story, but I want to ask you this:
Go ahead.
and I'm finna make B talk to me. I'm finna make B get into
Listen,
this.
B about to get
I'm
it.
finna
He
make
leaving
you
it
get
in, so
it.
I know he got something to say. Go ahead. What's up?
So B, we done touched 100,000 multiple times. That ain't like a dream for us at this point. But for that person who ain't never touched 5,000, 2,500, maybe 1,000, yeah, they might risk 20 years to get that 100,000. But in their mind, they might live 20 more years without 1,000. So it's like, would you want to live a life in poverty your whole life, or would you want to take a chance with your life? But if it work out, you got something afterwards. That's where a lot of our young people are. They've been starving for so long, ain't never had access, and ain't in their mind, ain't nobody trying to show them nothing. It ain't coming quick enough. Ain't no opportunities out here. I'm gonna make one. What would you say to that person? Have you ever been that person?
Yeah, you know, took a chance every day.
So talk about it.
So with me, I'm the risk taker. I'm gonna take that chance. I'm gonna take the chance unnecessarily sometimes. And that's why when you say about the story with her, because I would still get dirty even when I was clean. It was like, bro, what the hell are you doing? Because this doesn't make sense. You putting yourself in a very risky situation when it's not even necessary.
So that's growth. That right there, what you just said, that's growth. Where did that come from? Where did it come from in you when you said more the risk than it is the gain? When you said I'd rather take the slow motion because it's guaranteed motion rather than take this quick and it may take me away from everything. Where did that come from?
My kid.
That was key right there.
So when you had somebody
Awesome.
else who was looking, somebody else depending on you, that's when it shifted.
My first daughter. That's when it shifted for real. 'Cause before it didn't really. I ain't gonna say it didn't matter, but it balls to the wall. I'm going in. But
Which that's that biggie thing. If I'm starving, you know what I'm saying, I ain't got no money. You better pray that I don't come at you. But on the same token, one thing you just said, Keith, that drew out to me, you said when a person is thinking, there ain't no other opportunities out here. And that's why I want everybody to see that there are other opportunities
So
out
this
here.
is the reason why this is the reason why I have so much a problem with that.
Go ahead.
Just because you create a person that is not a criminal does not mean you create a good person. It's a
No, I
big
get that.
difference between being a legal person and
Right.
being a good person.
No,
so
I
if
get
you
that.
change the mentality of a person that say, I won't commit a crime because I see another opportunity, you still didn't change the character of that person.
Right.
I care more about a person's character than I do their behaviors, because a character will stop you from behaviors, right? But let's say that a person can look though, hear me out on this, B. Let's say that a person would not commit a crime because they get a career and now they got a job. Let's say that job let them go and they can't get no more work in that industry. They've been working in that industry 20 years. They done built this certain kind of lifestyle. They got a little money put away. Now they'll go jump into fraud. Now they'll go try to do this because their character is the same character, but their opportunities went away.
And that's all I'm asking for is just commit to loving people. You know why? That youth who you don't reach might be that youth who might be dead tomorrow.